Football Twitter is the worst thing to have ever happened to football. Football Twitter is the worst thing to have ever happened to football. We now live in a world where football fans have this weird parasocial relationship with footballers and the footballing establishment. I sound like Rory Jennings. Football fans talk about footballers like they are a piece of property that they have ownership over. And said footballer must abide by the made-up fantasy of how they, the football fan, thinks a footballer should behave. And when they don't, they speak about them like they're a piece of dirt at the bottom of their shoe. A timely example is Jude Bellingham, and a lot has been made of Jude Bellingham in the last couple of weeks, and I don't want to actually go into it right now because I'm going to speak about him in context later on in this particular episode. Now, I'm not going to sit here and pretend as if I don't know that football fans are important. Of course, football fans are important because we only need to look back at the pandemic a couple of years ago when footballers were playing in empty stadiums with zero atmosphere and the broadcasters were dubbing fake crowd noises over the football matches that were being played. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible time. Without the fans, nobody's going to buy the shirts, buy the merchandise, buy the food in the stadium, come to the stadium and bring the atmosphere that makes the game what it is. Like, for a brief second, imagine Lionel Messi winning the World Cup in 2022 with no fans in the stadium. Imagine that historical moment being played with nobody in the stadium. Football simply does not exist without us, the fans. The everyday person wants the escapism and the emotional relief that comes with supporting your club and your country. I've been saying this for such a long time, but the pandemic really changed society and changed the world forever. And I feel like since the pandemic, the reach of social media has changed the way that we consume football drastically. Everything is now about rage baiting, clickbaiting, and antagonizing opposition fans and having dishonest conversations around football, all in the name of content and engagement. And football Twitter is to blame. So you get these individuals that frame themselves as Tacticos and in the knows, and they discuss and talk about the intricacies of the game as if they are there in the boardroom, as if they are there in the changing room, as if they are the managers, the sporting directors, as if they are directly involved in the running of a football club. They build brands and followings and become super prominent voices online. And there is an arrogance and a self-importance with how they speak about football online when really and truly they're just another account on Twitter, or potentially a bot, because half of Twitter is bots these days. They are just another account on Twitter trying their absolute hardest to get that Elon Musk monthly money. Because of their large followings, they are able to set certain narratives and almost dictate how conversations around football happen online. So I'm breaking down the next 2 episodes of Small Talk into 2 separate conversations. On this episode, we are going to discuss why I believe that football Twitter is genuinely one of the worst things to have ever happened to football. And the second episode is a little bit more nuanced because it is about how football fans have this weird parasocial relationship with footballers and football clubs, and why it's almost the same level of obsession that super fans have over their favorite celebrity. But that episode is coming out either this week or next week, so make sure you're subscribed so you know when that video drops. Yo, what's going on? My name is Ore, and I am a presenter, broadcaster, cultural commentator, and all-round creative idiot. And welcome back to another episode of Small Talk. This is where I sit in my bed and I dissect the world of news, sport, politics, entertainment, fashion, popular culture, and everything in between, but aim to delve that little bit deeper than beneath the surface. As some of you already know, I am a massive football fan. I am a massive Arsenal fan. I love Arsenal Football Club with my entire being, with my entire heart. I love Arsenal so much. But as much as I love football, I also love observing the world and commenting on how all these different things intersect with one another. I guess that's sociology, looking at society, looking at social behavior and social relationships. I guess that's sociology. So as I filmed this video in the last week of November 2025, we have reached a point where social media is genuinely the most powerful communication tool in the world. It is bigger than news channels, it is bigger than newspapers, it is bigger than journalists. The reach of social media is like none other. You know that already. I mean, look at the president of the United States of America, for goodness sake. Also, why did he post this video? AI is getting out of hand. I've said it before, I don't like AI, but we're not going to talk about that today. And talking of Twitter, ever since Elon Musk took over, that app has become a mess. It is like the wild, wild west, but instead of horses, it's now full of racists, neo-Nazis, burner accounts, and Charlie Kirk memes. With football specifically, people are no longer there to analyze or just enjoy the game. They are there to emotionally react to the games for clicks and to present their opinions as fact. Football Twitter isn't about truth. It is about winning arguments online. And the two fan bases that are the absolute worst when it comes to this are Chelsea and Arsenal fans. Oh my God, I hate both of them. Obviously, I'm an Arsenal fan, but I'm self-aware. Arsenal fans online are some of the most annoying, insufferable people on this planet, specifically the ones from Nigeria. I hate to say it. I'm Nigerian, so I can say it. Caicedo versus Rice, Rice versus Caicedo, Timber versus James, James versus Timber, Palmer versus Saka, Saka versus Palmer. It's enough, bro. They don't know you. We don't care. They're all good players. They wouldn't be professionals if they're not. Just shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You don't need to spend every single day of your life arguing about players that don't even know that you exist. Just go outside and touch some grass, brother. It's okay. You'll make friends. People will speak to you. Everything about football discourse online is now heightened and amplified. If you're a player in the present day, you don't want to misplace a pass or fall over or trip over your feet because you'll be turned into a meme or you'll be put into a fail comp for everyone online to see, and you will be reminded of it at every single opportunity. Footballers back in the day did not have this same level of intense scrutiny and intense level of attention. It must take a toll on your mental health knowing that everything that you say and everything that you do is going to be scrutinized and hyper-analyzed. Especially considering that a lot of these players are really young. Some of them are, barely 18, 19, 20, and they are having to live within this pressure cooker. And I know it comes with the territory of being a footballer, but this level of attention it's a lot. I know I would have suffered if I was a footballer at that age. Football Twitter has made it impossible to just enjoy the game. A couple of months ago, I saw this tweet from an individual called Amir, who ironically started off on Twitter as a genuine fan, and he would tweet his thoughts and analysis of the game, and that has now led to him becoming a pundit on The Overlap and BBC Sport. He once tweeted, "Football is actually consumed like a reality TV show. The majority of what the football fan experience is outside of the 90 minutes played and the actual on-pitch stuff. Interesting how chatting about the characters and storylines is what occupies the week more time." This is the absolute truth because we spend the majority of our time talking about everything but the actual game on the pitch. And the drama around football has now become an industry in itself. I mean, football Twitter quite literally gave Fabrizio Romano a career. Transfers have obviously been a part of football for as long as it has existed, but the level of attention it now receives is at an astronomical level. This is how I know that you're a chronically online football fan just like me if you know any of the following phrases. Documents are being prepared. Talks are ongoing. The player is appreciated by the club. And of course, here we go. It's funny because "here we go" as a phrase, as a slogan, only became a thing because Fabrizio randomly tweeted it after Bruno Fernandes joined Manchester United in the year 2020. And now, arguably, it's one of the most iconic phrases in football. That is a direct result of football Twitter. SDS does not exist without football Twitter. The Overlap does not exist without football Twitter. The club does not exist without football Twitter. The impact of this online world is monumental, and broadcasters have picked up on this as well. And of course they're going to pick up on it because they're always going to follow wherever the money is going. Football Twitter has gone from this niche online subset of the internet to mainstream television. So in my previous videos, I've spoken about TalkSport and Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy and all of these characters and individuals. And TalkSport's whole MO is to rage bait Arsenal fans, and Arsenal fans fall for it every single time. If you have a moment spare, go onto TalkSport's YouTube channel and type in Arsenal. It is borderline obsession. These individuals will try and shoehorn Arsenal into any and every conversation possible because they know it's going to generate clicks and engagement online. Arsenal Football Club quite literally keeps the lights on in that building. Now, don't get me wrong, I actually think it's a really good thing that fans now have a platform and a forum where they can share their opinions and talk about football. I feel like it's been needed for ages because mainstream traditional media, in my opinion, has been on its way out for ages, and they have fallen behind in terms of actual accurate tactical analysis. And honestly, I feel like a lot of us fans do have a better grasp and better knowledge of the game than some of the actual paid pundits. I was watching this video the other day of Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, and I don't know him personally, and I respect him really highly as a player and as an individual who has obviously contributed to the world of football. But as a pundit, this was really uncomfortable and painful to watch because he was making points that you would expect a 12-year-old on Twitter to make. And in that moment, it reaffirmed my belief that we as fans who haven't played the game do have a better knowledge of the game than some actual pundits. And there are some really good creators in the online space. Whatever you think of him, I really enjoy Lawrence McKenna's content. It's really deep and it's analytical, and he thinks of it from a holistic point of view. There's James Lawrence Alcott, there is Culture Cams and Lias, there is the Big Six, who I watch every single week. I really enjoy their content and they provide an alternative to mainstream television. But as much as I enjoy those guys, on the other hand, you have this individual right here. Now, I don't know him personally, and I'm not going to sit here and cast judgments on his personality and his character, but Tom Garrett is quite literally the living embodiment of football Twitter. He is football Twitter in the flesh. Personally, I don't believe anything that has ever come out of that man's mouth. And secondly, I don't believe that that man has ever had an original thought of his own. You can almost see his mind working in real time. Oh, I'm going to say something outlandish and controversial online just for the sake of it because I know it's going to get clipped and go viral online. That's how that man's mind works. And that's fine. Do what you got to do. But it just feels cheap and it feels like he's just doing this for personal gain. Look, I'm not here to be a Debbie Downer. Life's not that serious. Football is never that deep. It's just that I personally find football discourse online genuinely painful. There should be a space online for actual adult footballing conversations, and football Twitter is not that space. I'm self-aware. Maybe I'm the problem. I'm probably the problem because nobody's asking me to spend hours of my day online scrolling through this app and looking at this nonsense that people are tweeting, especially considering in the last couple of days, Twitter has rolled out a feature where you can see the location that people are tweeting from. And listen, football is a global sport. There are people that watch this sport from across the world, but a lot of the accounts that are tweeting this nonsense aren't actually from the UK. They're from countries far away, and they're saying things that people from their country don't actually say. So we're being rage baited by individuals that live on the other side of the world. It's never that deep. It's never that deep. Football discourse online is now a parody of itself. The most unserious voices now dominate the conversation. And because Twitter is now monetized, you can now engagement farm and spark conversations online, not because you actually care about football, but because you can get a nice little paycheck out of it at the end of the month. Football Twitter didn't ruin football discourse. It replaced it with idiots with a microphone. Wait, what? Football conversations online used to be fun, but now it feels like torture. And for whatever reason, I can't seem to avoid it. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe. I have another video coming out either later this week or early next week, which is about the parasocial relationship that we now have with footballers and why I think it is a massive problem. It's a bit more in depth, it's a bit more nuanced. So make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when that video drops. Thank you very much once again, and I will see you on the next one. Goodbye.